Salute, and welcome to the Real Big Fruit Podcast. I'm your host, Big Fruit, the Michael Jordan of recording, also known as the voice of the streets, but better known as the glue, because I like to keep things together and keep them in a proper perspective. How y'all doing out there on this early morning? How y'all doing out there on this early morning, man? Today is Wednesday, also known as Hump Day, the middle of the week. The week is flying by, man. The week is flying by. Y'all see the title, man. The rise and fall of the Comrade boxing bar. First and foremost, free boxing bar. Shout out to boxing bar. He has access to me as well as his family. He can reach out to me at any given time, and it's always been like that since day one. Now, y'all may be familiar with boxing bar through YouTube for the drama he's had with the rapper Mano. You know what I'm saying? But my history with boxing bar go much deeper than that. And this video, the rise and fall of boxing bar, will explain to you this jack. You know what I'm saying? Boxing bar is the homie out of East New York, the Comrade. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna sit here and act like we don't have history because we do. And I always said, man, it is so hard for Big Fruit to be loyal to a folk, man, because I know so many dudes and I've got these good relationships with these dudes. None of these dudes has ever chalked me up as being a grimy sleazeball type of individual. So dudes has always had love and respect for me to the point where I be in the middle of niggas' beefs and I just try to squash them if I can. If I can't, motherfuckers gonna have to do what they gotta do. And I'm gonna continue to maintain my relationship with both individuals. That's just how I get down. You know what I'm saying? We was talking about that about a week ago, me and Brooklyn Mo, and you ain't gotta always choose a side. You ain't always gotta pick a side. You gotta let dudes handle their business, and it is what it is. And I speak on that because I met Boxing Bar in 9-1. 9-1, C-74 action. Little short dude from East New York came through the full billing. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knew, yo, he from the East, yo, that's Guy Tony, man. Ooh. So we knew all these things. But what we didn't know was he knew how to fight because he was so tiny. You know what I'm saying? But he came through with a heart of a lion. You know what I'm saying? Came through Mar 9. You know what I'm saying? Mar 9 was murder Mar 9. A lot of heavyweights was down there letting it go. You know what I'm saying? And you had to claim your stakes. You know what I'm saying? If you wanted phone time, you had to step to that. And sure enough, Ball got into an incident with the other Comrade. Shout out to my boy Jose. You know what I'm saying? Crown Heights, you already know what it is. The co-defendants, Jose and Pito. Full billing action. 90, 91, 92. Everybody know what it's hitting for. But Ball and Jose got into some shit in Mar 9. And like I said, back then, man, dude, everybody was cool with each other. Dudes was creating relationships, creating friendships. But at the same time, everybody had beef with each other because of that phone, commissary, sneakers, jewelry, Sergio Tassini suits, Fila slippers, you name it. It was beef over the craziest shit in the full building. But Bar and Jose got into it over the phone. Jose scratched Bar, and that was a big thing in the full building because Bar the Comrade, and so is Jose. You know what I'm saying? So it's always been a situation where Bar had beef with dudes that was comrades. Most of the comrades had beef with each other. And certain people, like myself, always found themselves in the middle of shit. You know what I'm saying? But after Bar and Zay got into it, they never crossed paths in the full building like that no more. They didn't even cross paths up north after doing 15 and 20 and 25 years apiece. They never crossed paths. But Boxing Bar, he got known in the full building for his incident with Zay. And from there on, he just was on some other shit. You know what I'm saying? Bar was beating niggas up in the full building. That's when they start calling him Boxing Bar. Niggas was like, yo, he got the mad knuckle check. Because when Zay cut the nigga, he put that work in. Shout out to my boy Zay. You know what it is. But when you scratch that nigga Bar put that work in. You know what I'm saying? Bar put that work in. Every time a nigga scratch Bar put that work in. Bar put that work in. No question about it. You know what I'm saying? He ain't just get cut, run. He ain't just get cut and fold. He put that work in. So dudes in the full building start calling him Boxing Bar. 9-1, 9-2. He was holding it down. He goes up north. They go up north to Cagshacky. He get into the shit with the nigga Mano. Mano scratched him. Bar put that work in. You know what I'm saying? They separated. No, Mano left the jail. Bar stayed in the jail. Year later, We all fall in the jail. Everybody from the 4 billion Lee and Kasaki and 9-3. You know what I'm saying? I've had conversations with Ball about that shit with him and Mano. Even that shit with him and Zay. Like, damn, son, you stay into a beef with one of the homies. What the fuck is that about? He like, yo, you know how Brooklyn niggas is, son. We stay beefing with each other. We'll get past this. All right, cool. It wasn't no smoke because the homie dog, the Comrade Mo dog, he was there. You know what I'm saying? Me, Dog, and Ball, we used to hold court and talk about that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because Ball and Dog had a relationship back then. And we couldn't understand what the fuck him and Mano fell out. But anyway, as time went on, we was in Kasaki doing what we do. Ball and them niggas got into some shit in the gym. And remember, I told you, Ball was a little nigga. Ball got the beat, but anywhere between 5'2" and 5'5". Anywhere between 125 and 135 pounds. And Ball got into an incident in Kasaki gym with this big nigga. This dude was the biggest dude in the jail. I'm not just talking big in height and big in muscles. I'm just talking big. He was a big dude, kind of tall, heavy set, stocky, grown man shit amongst kids. And something went wrong in that motherfucking gym. And Ball jumped his little ass on that nigga back and cut the shit out that big nigga, son. Everybody was talking about that shit, the way that nigga was chasing Ball around that motherfucking gym. Ball was getting ghost. That big nigga was chasing Ball around that gym after Ball whipped that nigga, son. And that's how Ball ended up going to Southport. So now when Ball go to Southport, I come right behind him because we was in the box together. You know what I'm saying? Me, Ball, and the little nigga Alpo. Rest in peace, Alpo from Queens. If you know, you know. We was all down in Chasaki box together, waiting for our ride to Southport. Ball left first. I came behind. By the time I got there, Ball and Mano was on the gallery together, if I'm not mistaken. I think the niggas was on the same gallery in the box. we was all in C block. And I was on the flats, and my window faced the SHU cages. So I used to talk to Ball every day in the cage out the window. Yo, what's up? What's up with you and this nigga, man? Nah, yo, we talk. That shit ain't about nothing. I'll talk to Maine out the window. Yo, what's up with you and Ball? Yo, we on the same gallery. We talk. This ain't about nothing. All right, cool. I guess Ball was rocking that nigga to sleep. I don't know what it was. You know what I'm saying? Years later, I run into Ball in Attica. Me and Ball in Attica together. 02. I'm like, yo, what's up? And then what I found strange was Ball was always on point. Ball kept tabs on that nigga Mano. He kept tabs on that nigga Zay. And he kept tabs on that big nigga he cut Kasaki, son. Ball was on point. So we at the yard one day and Ball like, yeah, son, that big nigga in Auburn. I'm like, damn, son, you still following that nigga, chasing that nigga down? He like, man, I'm on point. He like, yo, that nigga in Auburn, that nigga Zay in the box. He said, and Mano went home. This is 02. And he like, yo, Mano went home. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, damn, son, you keeping the tab on them niggas. He like, no question, son, because you never know. Because Ball had cut Mano in Comstock before he ran into me in Attica. And 9-9, and then Mano on the motherfucking Comstock together. They in the barbershop. Mano sitting in the barbershop chair, getting his head cut by the boy Scrap, a.k.a. just off Fulton Street. Ball walked up on the nigga and wet the nigga. Ball blew the nigga in the barbershop chair. I guess he got his revenge. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, in 02, Ball telling me like, yeah, son, I keep tabs on all the niggas because you never know how this shit gonna go. And I ain't gonna sit here and hold you. Ball is the Comrade. Ball is my bro. We played football in Attica together in B block. You know what I'm saying? I remember Ball dropped his bucket on Big Nuke. Yeah, Big Nuke. I'm gonna talk about that shit. Big Ball hit the old hole, dropped his helmet on Big Nuke, and left Big Nuke standing right there. Poof, kept it pushing. He laid Big Nuke ass out on the football field. So to this day, we can't believe that shit happened. But Lil Ball was the homie, son. That was the Comrade, and we broke bread together. And we even exchanged some jewelry. I never forget. One of the homies had came to see me when my mom's died 2 years prior to that. And he had gave me a 22 karat chain with a cross on it. It was kind of small, but it was 22 carats, so I kept it. I kept it for about 2-3 years. I get to Attica, and Ball was like, Ball had a chain. Ball had a longer chain with a round medallion, Jesus medallion on it. And he kept saying, yo, man, let me wear that chain on the visit. Let me wear that chain on the visit. I was like, all right, cool. I let him wear the chain. So Ball went down there with the chain. He came back and was like, yo, my daughter liked the chain. Keep it, cap it. So we switched jewelry. Bar took my chain back on a visit and gave it to his daughter, if I'm not mistaken, and he allowed me to keep his jewelry. So Bar was the homie, son. And that was what, 02, 03 Attica. Bar must have touched down. He had the incident where motherfucker ran down on him with the hammer. He disarmed the nigga, put the nigga down. Bar came back to jail. So now Bar back on another stretch. I ain't see him when he immediately came back. I didn't see Bar until he fell in Shawanga with us anywhere between 2010 and 2012. It's somewhere between then. He fell in Shawanga. 2010, 2011, some shit like that. He fell in Shawanga and he wasn't there long. I got to talk to the nigga 2-3 times. He was in a double bunk with the nigga. Next thing you know, Bar done beat this big nigga up in the cell. Beat this nigga up in the double bunk cell and Bar left the jail. You know what I'm saying? So Bar had came back with that time for disarming the nigga and putting him down. Bar went home again after that stretch. And when he went home after that stretch, he found himself in a situation where he was accused of a shooting that led to the death of several victims. He was apprehended. He was convicted of the crime. And right now, today, as we speak, Bar has the natural life sentence. But during his incarceration for this most recent shit, he had the internet buzzing. Bar had the internet buzzing because, one, I think he was chasing the check in his situation, and you can't knock a nigga down who was trying to get him some money and pay legal fees or whatever when he knew he needed the help. But I think he was going about it wrong. He was chasing the check, fucking with the wrong people on YouTube, and he kept talking about the wrong shit. He kept talking about the shit with him and Mano, which was old news, and everybody thought that shit was over. You know what I'm saying? But the Comrades, we was all like, yo, this motherfucker, son, this shit is old. We don't want to see Bar going out like that. Bar dragging the nigga Mano, this, that, and the third, leave that shit alone. But Bar didn't give a fuck. He was doing his interviews. He's putting out there. He blew that nigga. He was putting out there, Mano this, Mano that. Like, Bar was going hard. Lo and behold, Big Fruit, Loyal to a Full, found myself in the middle of this shit because I got a YouTube channel. But I ain't take no sides. I went at Bar like, yo, what the fuck is you doing, homie? We don't want to see you doing this shit on YouTube. We don't want to see you slandering another one of the Comrades. We know y'all had a beef, but that shit is old. What's up? What's going on? We don't want to see that. If you need somebody to talk to, you want to get a message out to the people, you need help, plug in the Big Fruit. And Bar wasn't really trying to hear me because Bar was trying to get a check and he was plugged in to Whack 100 and Whack 100 disappointed the nigga, told the nigga he wasn't going to give him no money. And that's when Bar fell back completely when he realized he couldn't get no money out of the situation. You know what I'm saying? But lo and behold, Bar went to trial on his case and he was convicted and got sentenced to a life sentence. And it was always hard. It was all, you know what I'm saying? Other than the shit with Mano, it was always hard to really get out there and support Bar because Bar wasn't trying to talk about nothing but the shit with Mano, and that shit was corny. You know what I'm saying? Yo, I blew the nigga back. The nigga told on me when I cut him. All type of shit. Bar was going crazy. And then Bar was bringing up the shit with Dre. Yo, Dre got paperwork on me. Like all types of shit. And I was like, yo, Bar, why you doing that? If you want to reach the masses, fuck with Big Fruit. Why you fucking with these niggas you don't even know? These niggas who don't like Mano, these niggas who gonna stir up shit, fuck with your boy Big Fruit. But Bar wouldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? Me and Shadow had the nigga on the line a couple times, and he was focused on trying to get him some money, and that shit didn't work. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Shadow, because me and Shadow had Bar on the three-way trying to talk to the nigga, but he wasn't thinking straight. You know what I'm saying? Lo and behold, he got convicted of that alleged crime, which was very serious. You know what I'm saying? A couple of victims lost their lives. And it was hard for me to get up here and support him and talk about the situation because, Loyal to a Full, Brooklyn niggas, we all know each other. We had comrades that did time with us that lost family members in the incident that what Bar was accused of. So it was a touch and go situation. You know what I'm saying? You want to scream free Bar, but you don't want your comrades to think you saying fuck their family, fuck their people. You understand what I'm saying? So it was a very, very, very hard situation. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we had some comrades that lost family members in that shit with Boxing Bar. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Boxing Bar, man. Free Boxing Bar. That's the homie. You know what I'm saying? Free Boxing Ball when we get a chance, man. Free Boxing Ball. If you got a line on him, reach out to him. You know what I'm saying? The man was convicted and sentenced to life in prison for that incident. You know what I'm saying? And Boxing Ball is the homie, and we gonna support him. We wish him well. Shout out to my boy France. You know what I'm saying? France already know I'm in full support of the fan. You know what I mean? Ball was the homie. We ain't gonna sit here and act like he wasn't. You know what I'm saying? Also, I want to bring it to your attention that, you know what I'm saying, this jail shit ain't cool. You know what I'm saying? Going back in and out of the prison system, especially when you were OG. You know what I'm saying? Things change over the years, and you find yourself around a bunch of corny niggas. You find yourself around a bunch of younger dudes, and shit can go left. You know what I'm saying? So I say you have to say, man, this is a message to all you kids out there, man, who think this running around, busting shots, you know what I'm saying, hurting people, tearing up the community, putting taking people's lives and things of that nature, son. This is what will happen to you. You will be found guilty of a serious crime, and they will put your lights out. They will put your lights out, son. You know what I'm saying? The homie Ball has been found guilty of that crime, and he has life without parole, son. Like, that's what his life amounted to. He never got the chance to enjoy life. You understand what I'm saying? We came to jail when we were 16, 17 years old. Then by the time he got out in his mid-30s, he wasn't out there for 6 months. He had to come right back and give them people another 10 or 15 years. So now when you get out, you in your late 40s, you catch this one, and now they put your lights out with life without parole. So Boxing Ball did never end. He never enjoyed life. You understand what I'm saying? Life was always a struggle for him. You know what I'm saying? And when he returned back to jail was different on this one. Found himself beefing with young niggas, going through situations that he shouldn't have been going through. You know what I'm saying? And this next joint I'm going to show you guys. Is from 2 years ago. A lot of people may not know about this, but this is an exclusive right here. This is an exclusive. A lot of people may not know Boxing Ball was going through his trials and tribulations on Racket Sound 2 years ago because shit done changed. You know what I'm saying? So this photo here shows Boxing Ball still going through the bullshit in prison. Cutting niggas, getting cut, fighting niggas over the phones and shit like that. Who want to be doing that type of shit at 50 years old? Not me, son. Not me, man. So Boxing Ball, man, hold your head, stand firm, and understand. We support you. We got love for you out here in these streets. And we're going to keep regulating and doing what we do. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to get up here and explain to the people the rise and fall of Boxing Ball. Boxing Ball was a good homie, son. He was a good dude. That's the Comrade, and I ain't gonna sit here and act like he wasn't. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, a lot of y'all are familiar with Boxing Ball from the YouTube fame that he got over his situation with Mano. That shit ain't all that. That shit is corny to me. You know what I'm saying? But Boxing Ball felt the need to express himself after the fact that he said it wasn't no beef. And I ain't gonna shy away from that because Ball told the world, just like he told me, ain't no beef. She cut the nigga back. They did that a second time. It ain't no beef. And then Ball jumped on YouTube. Once he got apprehended for this recent crime. And I'm telling you, he went out bad. I got to call a spade a spade. He's still my homie. He's still my comrade. But I ain't going to let you run into a wall head first without telling you it's a wall there. I ain't going to let you crash and burn without pulling your coat. So I pulled this coat. Me and Shadow both pulled this coat. But Ball, he wasn't thinking clearly, son. He was chasing a check. But he did say, you know what I'm saying? He did say at one time they squashed the beef and he doubled back and he made the beef hot again. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Boxing Ball, man. Shout out to Zay. I remember being in Attica 0203. Ball had left. Ball went to a meeting. And as soon as Ball left, a few months later, Jose came to the jail. And the first thing that nigga said was, yo, where that nigga Ball? And I said, yo, he went to a meeting. He was like, yeah, son, because I came through gripped up, man. I thought I was going to fire when that nigga get. Yeah, because you know that nigga hands is nice and that nigga won't put them hands and feet on you. So Zay wasn't playing. Zay wasn't trying to fight Ball. But he did say this. What the fuck was Mano thinking? He said, I'm not letting that nigga get up on me, son. So Zay was on point. He knew either Bob was going to whip his ass or Bob was going to cut him back. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to my boy Zay. Listen, man, like I told you, it ain't easy being Big Fruit, loyal to a fault, because you find yourself in between these situations with comrades, right? And I never wanted to see Zay cut no damn bar. I ain't want to see them two beef. You know what I'm saying? That shit wasn't cool. But I'm sending my shout out to Boxing Ball because I never really did a video for him after his conviction and his sentencing. And like I told you, the reason why it was hard to do is because I had comrades reach out to me like, yo, son, you know that was my family that died in that situation. I was like, oh shit. But it wasn't no beef. It wasn't no smoke. The comrade wasn't mad or upset with me. The comrade said they wish things were like they used to be, where they could hold court in the street and we wouldn't even be talking about the nigga bar no more. But things didn't change. Things didn't change. So we gonna scream free bar. You know what I'm saying? We gonna scream free bar and we gonna wish him well. You know what I'm saying? Only I could do what I do. You know what I'm saying? Only I got these relationships with these real hitters. You know what I'm saying? These real hitters will let you know they have those relationships with me. You know what I'm saying? So it's only right that I get up in here and do what I do and send Boxing Ball off right. You know what I'm saying? So once again, it's your boy Big Fruit. You know how I do. I come through 6 minutes, Dougie, and say what it is and say what it ain't. And right now, it's all about Boxing Ball, man. Free the Comrade Boxing Ball. He's serving life without parole for a heinous crime back in Brooklyn, New York a few years ago. He was found guilty of the crime, you know what I'm saying? And they sentenced him to life without parole. You know what I'm saying? So once again, I want to send a major shout out to the homie Boxing Bar. You know what I'm saying? Let him know we wish him well. But like I said, yo, Bar, you got access to Big Fruit. You already know. All you got to do is hit the fan. The fan will hit me and let me know what it is. You know what I'm saying? I will always provide this platform for the homies and the comrades behind the wall. They're going to always have a voice. I'm never going to be judgmental. I'm never going to pick a side. I'm going to let the voices be heard, and I'm going to let y'all be the judge. You understand what I'm saying? I'm going to let y'all be the judge. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to let y'all be the judge. So once again, it's your boy Big Fruit. You know how I do. I come through 6 minutes, Dougie. I say what it is and say what it ain't. And until next time, y'all be easy. Salute. Free Boxing Bar. Y'all know what it is.